ESPN NFL Draft Analysts Mel Kiper Jr. and Field Yates went head-to-head in a mock draft on their podcast, the First Draft Podcast, earlier this week. And today we're going to be breaking down the 12 picks that they make during that mock draft. Welcome into NFL Daily. I am your host, Jack Sperry, and today we're going to be breaking down that mock here in just a second. But first, make sure you guys click that subscribe button and join our family here at Chat Sports. We're going to have you guys covered with extensive NFL draft content all throughout draft season. So make sure you guys click that subscribe button because we got weekly mock drafts on here. We're going to have big board updates, all this great stuff coming your way over the next couple of months. And of course, it's Combine Week, so we got exclusive content coming from there. So make sure you guys click that subscribe button right now and join our family. So let's start with the first pick of this mock, which belonged to Field Yates, and he took Caleb Williams for the Chicago Bears here. And listen, I think this is what most people expect to happen, all right? Caleb Williams is the presumptive number one overall pick. It looks like the Bears are looking to shop Justin Fields elsewhere, and Caleb Williams is kind of that ultra great playmaker here that they want as their next quarterback there in Chicago. It resets the quarterback rookie contract clock. Lots of benefits to getting Caleb Williams, so that one's pretty easy. Now things get interesting here at the number 2 pick, which goes to Mel Kiper Jr., and he takes Jayden Daniels. Now, he took Daniels in his first mock draft that he released a couple weeks ago, and he's sticking to his guns here, taking the Heisman Trophy winner at number 2 overall for the Washington Commanders over UNC's Drake Maye, who kind of fell off a little bit in his final season there with the Tar Heels, whereas Jayden Daniels exploded in his final season there with the Tigers, of course, culminating in a Heisman Trophy for him and LSU. So that's definitely an interesting pick. But let me know what you guys think about going with Jayden Daniels over Drake Maye. If you were the Washington Commanders and you were tasked with taking a quarterback not named Caleb Williams, who are you going to take? Are you going to take Jayden Daniels or Drake Maye? Type JD for Jayden Daniels or DM for Drake Maye for today's pinned comment. YouTube's going to throw you an ad break here in just a couple of seconds. When that happens, take advantage of that time by answering today's pinned question. Then we get to the number 3 pick here, and it goes back to Field Yates. And I think Field is like, oh my goodness, I'm getting Caleb Williams and Drake Maye. Thank you, Mel. I really do think that if Drake Maye is here at number 3 for the New England Patriots, they would be jumping for joy because I think Drake Maye is a better prospect personally than Jayden Daniels. I think that he's just a little bit further in his development. He's younger, all these different things. And, of course, he's got the great arm talent and athleticism that you look for. Definitely like what I see in Drake Maye. So, personally, I would go with Maye over Daniels if I were the Washington Commanders. And if I was the Patriots, I'd probably still take Jayden Daniels. Nothing against him. I think they're all 3 of these quarterbacks are excellent prospects. But this is how it shakes out in this mock draft between Yates and Mel Kiper Jr. Then it goes back to Mel Kiper here, and this one's pretty easy to me. Kyler Murray really loves having that dominant ball winner along the boundary there. He had one in DeAndre Hopkins. Now Hopkins is in Tennessee, so you got to get a new one here, and Marvin Harrison Jr. is perfect to fit that bill of super big, fast. I mean, there's just nothing wrong with Marvin Harrison Jr.'s profile. He's a great route runner. He's got great body control. He can track the ball in the air. He can win 50-50 ball situations. I mean, this guy's going to be just an absolutely stellar number 1 receiver for the Cardinals, probably right away. So this is definitely a slam dunk pick for the Cardinals here at number 4. So coming up here, Field Yates has a very interesting pick at number 5 for the Los Angeles Chargers and Jim Harbaugh. But before I reveal who that is, let's have a word from our sponsor here at PrizePicks. And football season may be over, but the action on the floor is just heating up. Whether it's tournament season or the fight for playoff home court, there's no shortage of high-stakes basketball moments this time of the year. Get in on the excitement with PrizePicks today, America's number 1 fantasy sports app where you can turn your hoops knowledge into serious cash. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous selection of players and stat types is what makes PrizePicks the number 1 daily fantasy sports app in the United States of America. So you might be asking yourselves, how does this work? Well, here's how you play. You pick 2 to 6 players, and if they'll go for more or less than their PrizePicks projection. You can even win up to 25 times your money on any entry. So let's take a look at my entry for tonight's NBA action here. I'm going to take the less on Andrew Wiggins points. I'm going to take the more on Draymond Green assists, and I'm going to take the less on Kyrie Irving rebounds tonight. So you can get your picks in before tip-off gets going. When you go to PrizePicks right now, it takes 60 seconds to make your picks, so get started right now. Download the app today and use code CLNS and use for a first deposit match up to $100 today. Again, download the app today and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy with our friends at PrizePicks. Then we get to the number 5 pick here, and Mel Kiper Jr. is now on the clock, and this is Field Yates, my mistake. He's taking Joe Alt, the offensive tackle from Notre Dame. Now, listen, you've got Rashawn Slater, you got Pipkins there in Los Angeles, but you could definitely use another tackle if you're the Chargers. A lot of people are projecting Brock Bowers here to Los Angeles because we know how much Jim Harbaugh loves those heavy tight end sets. But Joe Alt, definitely the most clean offensive tackle prospect in this year's NFL draft. This one would certainly make sense, and this would definitely be a safe pick for Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers. Then we get to number 6 here, and instead of Malik Nabers, who a lot of people have as their number 1 receiver, some people have him over Marvin Harrison Jr. this year, Mel Kiper Jr. is going with Rome Odunze here out of Washington over Malik Nabers to the New York Giants. Now, this would make sense in the fact that Daniel Jones needs a dominant ball winner on the outside. The Giants don't really have one of those, and Rome Odunze, even though he doesn't have quite the same burst of a Marvin Harrison Jr. or a Malik Nabers in terms of route running and getting separation, he's excellent at winning the ball in those 50-50 ball situations. He's probably the best in this draft class, and that's definitely going to help out Daniel Jones if, in fact, he is the starter for the G-Men in 2024. Then we get to number 7, and an interesting pick here from Field Yates, where he's going to have the Tennessee Titans take Malik Nabers, a wide receiver, when they are really in need of offensive line help, and Olu Fashanu is still on the board. So I'm not sure if I agree with this one from Field. I like Malik Nabers a lot. I compare his game to Stephon Diggs and even Odell Beckham Jr. I think he's got great body control, incredible burst off of the line of scrimmage. He is an incredible player. He's my number 2 wide receiver this year, but I'm just not sure if Tennessee, a rebuilding team, is really going to be looking for a wide receiver over a blue-chip offensive tackle prospect, in my opinion, in Olu Fashanu. Then we get to number 8, Dallas Turner from Bama. The first edge off the board here is what Mel Kiper Jr. is going to go with. Not going quarterback here, even though Atlanta definitely needs to address that position right now. But, I mean, Michael Penix Jr., J.J. McCarthy, and Bo Nix, you could definitely make an argument. None of them are worth a top 10 pick. So I like Dallas Turner. I love the juice that he brings to the table. And Atlanta definitely needs an edge rusher. So make sure you guys click that thumbs up icon right now for more mock drafts from us here at Chat Sports. If you like today's video, we'll get a mock out to you as soon as we can. All right, so now let's get to number 9 here, where it goes back to Field Yates. And Laiatu Latu is the pick for the Chicago Bears. So he took Caleb Williams at number 1 overall, and now he's taking Latu, the second edge off the board. I love Latu's finesse and his ability to really he's a technician, okay? He's not going to be somebody that's going to be overly physically dominant, but he's somebody that's really good at hand fighting. He knows the position, and he knows how to win in these situations. Top 10 might be a little bit rich for me personally, but I do like him as a player, and the Bears could certainly use another edge rusher on the other side of Montez Sweat. Then we get back to Mel Kiper Jr. here, and he's going to take Brock Bowers, the tight end from Georgia here, to pair with Aaron Rodgers. Now, this would definitely be interesting. I think the Jets are going to have their eye on Rome Odunze because he's so good at catching back shoulder balls. We know how good Aaron Rodgers is at throwing those types of passes, so expect maybe even a trade up from the Jets potentially. But I do like the fit between Bowers and the Jets offense here. Definitely would give Aaron Rodgers a nice young safety blanket over the middle of the field. And then kind of I can't say it's a bad pick, but I do feel like Minnesota's going to be hunting quarterback, so I'm not sure if I love the pick here from Field Yates, sending Jared Verse to the Minnesota Vikings. Now, it looks like they're going to be losing Danielle Hunter. I think they're going to be drafting edge at some point here in the first round, but I'm just not sure if they're going to be doing it here in round 1, especially if Kirk Cousins ends up not coming back here in 2024. So, I like Jared Verse as a player. I think he needs a little bit more time to grow. Athletic freak, but just not sure if I agree with the pick there from Field Yates. Then we get to number 12, and this is an interesting one here. J.J. McCarthy, quarterback from Michigan, is the pick for Mel Kiper Jr. to Sean Payton and the Denver Broncos. The Broncos are likely going to be releasing Russell Wilson here in the next couple of weeks, which means they're going to be on the hunt for a new quarterback. And listen, man, I've broken down all these guys' films right now, all the quarterbacks, and I really do think that Bo Nix out of Oregon is the better fit to be an NFL quarterback right away. I think J.J. McCarthy still has a little bit of ways to go in his development, whereas Bo Nix, I think he's ready to run an NFL offense right away. And Sean Payton, his offense really relies on a quarterback that can get through his reads and make good decisions with the football from within the pocket. That's Bo Nix's game, all right? So I think Bo Nix is the type of guy, especially with a guy like Brock Purdy having so much success in the league, somebody that might not be as physically gifted like Bo Nix might be somebody that rises up draft boards. And listen, I think number 12 overall is definitely too rich for Bo Nix. And by the way, it's too rich for J.J. McCarthy as well. But I just think in terms of fit, Bo Nix fits what Sean Payton wants in a quarterback, which is why I think he's going to be a Denver Bronco when it's all said and done. So let's break down the mock draft here, and let's break it up between Mel's picks and Field Yates' picks here. So Mel takes Jayden Daniels, Marvin Harrison Jr., Rome Odunze, Dallas Turner, Brock Bowers, and J.J. McCarthy for his 6 players. And then Field Yates has Caleb Williams, Drake Maye, Joe Alt, Malik Nabers, Leatu Latu, and Jared Verse. So let me know down there in the comments section, which guy won this mock? Who had the better mock between their 6 picks? Was it Field Yates, type FY, or was it Mel Kiper Jr., type MK for me down there in the comments section? Make sure you guys go give me a follow on X if you haven't already. I'm putting a bunch of NFL draft stuff on my Twitter here over the next few weeks or so leading up to the big day in Detroit. I am at Jack_Sperry. Lots of film analysis if you want to learn more about football and these prospects. And then also make sure you guys click that subscribe button for more NFL draft content right here on the channel from us here at Chat Sports.